Viewers, listeners, season 2 is upon us of Touchdown Talk. We will still be as witty. We will still be smiley when our teams are still in the dumps after last season's antics. We will still bring you all the Lewis news, action where we can as well. And again, probably lose a few listeners by talking shit about Miami Dolphins or the Patriots or anyone else. But for everyone else that's obviously listening, yeah, we will make sure we'll bring you all that new news, and we'll kick off actually right now with just a little bookend from the Super Bowl, as it were. Seeing those Seahawks obviously take that Lombardi Trophy, they were the favourites. I think it was the right scoreline. I don't think it was any surprises for anyone. And if they were surprised by the game, the scoreline, the outcome, or anything like that, then where have you been for
Yeah,
the last few months? How did you see it, Bill? Was it sort of an all round good game for you to watch?
yeah. I think we called it, didn't we, on the pod before the Super Bowl? We said, this has the potential to be a similar game to the Seahawks Denver Super Bowl, where the defense was just too dominating. The Patriots couldn't get anything going on offense until the game was already won, right? So I think it went how we expected it to go. I think how many expected it to go. We had a rightful winner. I think the Seahawks were probably the best team and deserved to hoist the Lombardi this year. So sad that the season's ended, but excited for the beginning of draft season and free agency and all the rest of it that's to come pretty soon.
Yeah, and I think obviously now it's interesting to see how these teams try and go back to back. That's what I'm excited to sort of see, because I think again, if you're looking at sides at the moment, with obviously a lot of changes to happen. We've seen now that carousel of 10 head coach changes, obviously in the league, just to see how they come out of this. Obviously, losing Clint over to the Raiders as well was going to have a bit of an impact in that team. It'd be interesting to see how the offense actually plays
Yeah.
as well, because we've obviously seen what they got out of a Cooper Cup again, rejuvenated it as it were. They got something out of him. We saw the production of Jackson Smith and Jigba, and alike as well. So I feel like they're still the team to watch. There's so much sort of young blood in that team, so
Mm.
it will be interesting to see their back-to-back antics. But Drake May, I just want to sort of end on a note there before we kick off onto everything that's going to be new. Drake May, does he come back from this? He's still a young QB, but there was a lot of holes in his game, right? We kind of saw it almost stumble in to the
Mm.
Super Bowl a little bit. Do you think this is a good learning curve for him, and do you see him sort of bouncing back and using this as a springboard?
Yeah, I think so. I've got every faith in Drake May. I don't think this would be the making or the end of his career as a top tier NFL quarterback. He had a great regular season. We said, when the playoffs came around, he was stumbling through the playoffs. They were winning in spite of Drake May. And in the Super Bowl, that's never going to be the case. You're never going to be able to outmatch, whoever
Mm.
you're playing in the big game with poor quarterback play. But yeah, he's still a young quarterback. Second year in the league, he leads the Patriots to a Super Bowl. Second place voting in the MVP. Like Drake May will be all right. I don't think the Patriots fans need to worry.
Yeah. I think we said it before, and I'm going to say it again. It was a season too soon, like it's 1 year too soon. They got there a year ahead of time, so I think they can't be. They should. You're going to be upset about not winning it when you get that far, of course, but don't be disheartened that you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, we're not going to get a shot again. Because I actually think they have a chance to have another shot. Right? There's a lot of rebuilds probably going on in that AFC as well. So yeah, Farball's done something amazing there. I think obviously with the team that actually now they can go and add a few extra pieces to that if they need to go obviously kick that on, and probably give him a little bit more on the O line. I think a little bit
Yeah,
I
they
think
need
he
it.
needs that bit extra time. Yeah, I think he needed that. So I think they can probably go and do that. The great thing is when do need people on the offensive line, sometimes you can get those picks, later on in the rounds and as well. So I think they're able to do that. They're in a good position to kick on as well.
Mhm.
So fair play to them. Both teams obviously definitely warranted to be there. I don't think it was an upset seeing the two actually in the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, nice end to the season. I actually enjoyed the halftime show. You know, for a minute there, my 0.001% DNA of Latino came out during the halftime. Some horrendous dancing for sure, but yeah, I enjoyed that as well. But that's in the books. It's in the books. Done. We're here for the new season already. This is always the question, right? I don't know. This comes up quite a bit, right? That are we saying that the Super Bowl is the end of the season? Because people were like, "Oh, then the combine and bringing in those players. When does preseason start? When does the new season start?"
I'm
all
not.
for one saying that Super Bowl is done. Like that's it. Season 2
Yeah.
done. Oh,
Yeah.
season 1, sorry, and then we're going to season 2 like we are with a pod. That is it. Season's done. New season.
Yeah, I always just say like when the Super Bowl is done, that's the end of that season. I don't know when the NFL determined that this is the beginning of the new league year. I think that's sometime in March, but I might be wrong. But yeah, for as far as I'm concerned, and I think as far as most fans are concerned, when that Super Bowl's done, we are all on to 2026. Everyone's undefeated. Everyone's 0-0. Everyone's got Super Bowl aspirations.
Yep.
And I just look at it and go, Super Bowl's done, right? So what am I focusing now? I'm focusing on the draft class, the upcoming free agents, the combine. Like, what? That season's done. Not interested.
Yeah.
It should just be the day after the Super Bowl, 2025 season or whatever year it is
concluded.
Done, ended, onto the next season.
Well, the NFL haven't messed about doing that because they started announcing obviously all these international games that are flying out. I feel like we've got like basically we're getting to a point where there's almost going to be a season's worth of games internationally. It's insane. Like, I love it because it's great because obviously the game's only going to get bigger. We're probably seeing a few more games obviously hitting the European shores, as it were, so probably a bit more accessible. Trying to tie that in. The wife's probably going to wonder, like, why are we booking these like European holidays to do random destinations? So, like, why are we not leaving on the Sunday? Let me tell you something. we've got some activities to do on that day. But we see obviously a few announcements now. The Lions have been confirmed as being the home team, obviously in Germany. Mexico are going to see the 49ers. The 49ers then have another international game from the furthest point that they could probably find. Yeah, with in Australia, obviously it's Melbourne City there, going up against the Rams. What a game, by the way, that they're getting as well. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Considering we get like Jets, Falcons, Jags, Browns. Melbourne come in straight with some business, mate. Niners, Rams, like. We'll have a bit of that NFL. We'll have a bit of that over here, thank you.
When it comes to London games, you will take this and you'll like it. That is that, and they like like it's like they're face to face looking at you, like with this, like you will like this. I'm like, okay, we will like it. We will like it. We will like it. I think we've just sort of like to come to these that some of these dud games, unfortunately, do come up. I know, like they I spoke to Henry, the GM, obviously, NFL UK, and a few others, obviously, there internally, and they do sort of say like, "Hey, like we don't know what's going to be a good game because we don't know what the teams are kind of already sorted, right? And the schedule's already done. We don't know who's going to be in form. We don't know what players going to be there. It's just at the moment, the luck of the dice is that we've just had absolute duds because." When you've seen like the Saints and the Vikings game, you probably go back a few seasons and you probably that's a big game. Yeah. And then it comes to here and it's just like, we didn't even get like a big Justin Jefferson game. We didn't even get that. It's things like that were real pain. But we do know the Jags are going to be here again, obviously.
And they're good
at Wembley. Yeah. So they kicked on now. So it's actually nice to actually see some good players, good football. So that'll be one to obviously watch. The Saints are obviously going to be in Paris. That'll be a good game.
Yeah.
No matter what, just because I think in Paris as well, that stadium, first one there as well, will be awesome. Brazil obviously still see themselves obviously with another fixture in there being scheduled, but this time obviously with the Cowboys. Maybe the Cowboys might win a game because too much pressure obviously in the States. So we might see them what we've done to be. And to be honest, as we also know, Dak Prescott's little wall up there with the hips will go down pretty well again. With the music though, be awesome. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Yeah, as long as they play a bit of music over the top, we'll be all over it. But no, I'm excited for these international games. It's like again, I'm still waiting for that one that probably makes its way to Tokyo. I think if they can get some success out of this one in Melbourne, it doesn't matter where you go then.
Yeah, agree.
There's nowhere else like that can go any further really at that point. I'd like to see how the teams fare with it because I think that is a lot of travel. Obviously the fact that Niners are going to do the two games, I'm hoping everything's okay in Mexico when it comes down to it as well. Would you want to see the obviously for you? I know you probably love to see the Bills over in London as well. Do you feel obviously the Americans are now like, hey, this is just part of the season now. Like we're gonna are we gonna be in there? I for one feel like they're getting a bit more of like, oh yeah, I'll be up for that now. I want to go and see my team somewhere else, and have like a bit of a different taste of an atmosphere at a football game. But do you think that's the case? And would you be happy watching maybe a team that you follow in the UK somewhere playing internationally? Would you follow it and go and travel?
Well, I think people do all the time. If you support a top team in the UK, if we're talking soccer, you're traveling around Europe watching Champions League or Europa League or whatever the other one is. Week in, week out, you're going to Iceland on a Wednesday to watch your team pump some part-timers 5-0. Like I suppose it's different, whereas Europe's so accessible. Once you're in Europe, it's easy to get everywhere. Obviously, it's a little bit different with America, but I think the way that the NFL's been going and the way that they are seemingly continuing to go, this game is going to be international, right? We're getting more and more games every year abroad. We're getting different locations, bigger locations. So I think now it's just part and parcel of the game. You know that there's, your name's thrown in a hat, and there's a potential it's going to come out, and you're going to London, or you're going to Melbourne, or you're going to Rio. You're going somewhere, right? The Niners have been picked on twice. Send them to London as well. Let another threesome. Threesome of traveling away. But look, I think it's just part and parcel now. I think teams expect it. And it adds to it, I think. Like the London games, I think we have been a little bit spoiled because we get so many in comparison to the rest of the world outside of the US. So we're sitting here going, like Vikings, the Browns, the Jets, the whatever. Other places, Germany would, before a couple of years ago when they were getting regular games, would have given whoever you gave them. Sweden would take whoever you give them. So I think we might have been a little bit spoiled, but I think it's just part and parcel of where the NFL's going now.
I think thing to look out for here is who the Saints and the Lions are playing the week before or week after, depending on when these games are obviously completely scheduled in. I've not looked at the dates properly to see what's before and what's after. But generally what I do see is the team that's playing away, maybe as the visiting team in London, then goes and plays the home game in Germany, or vice versa, and then the Lions. So I would like to see just logistically whether that is actually the case again. So keep an eye on what the Saints, the Lions, and even the Jags are obviously doing as well, because the Jags notoriously have played back to back as well quite a lot. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. That'll probably give you a bit of an inkling as to where who might be over in London as well. Just looking historically, what's happened in the past. I don't think I'm going to see the Cardinals again on any other shore, because they always end up doing Mexico. But I don't think they'll do Mexico, because that would be then 2 NFC West games, like divisional games for the Niners or abroad. I don't see it, especially two home games, right? That they're giving up as well. I think that's the other thing with the 49ers. 2 home games being given up. Now that's probably where I'd say with the fans, hey,
that's strange, isn't it, when you think about it like that? Like, you'd understand if it was, if the Rams were a designated home team or in Melbourne or one or the other in Mexico, but to take 2 home games from the Niners to play abroad is interesting, to say the least. Interesting how they got the Niners to agree to that.
No, unless there's some work going on at Levi Stadium we don't know about. They need to do some work to it. So who knows? But we've talked about those games. Looking forward to them as always. NFL putting on a great show as always, and look forward to seeing the rest of the London announcements as well. We've got to look at some of these players now that are going to be playing in some of these games. Obviously, going forward, free agency comes around the corner. If you're like me, obviously playing that sort of the armchair GM on on the little game that I was shared with you, Bill, as well. Where you said you were already ahead of it. You start looking at free agency, who you're going to cut, getting the cap space right. But then, most importantly, what players are you going to be like? No, you're not going anywhere, and slap a big franchise tag on, right? You've listed a few players to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these, whether they're a good move, bad move, waste of money. What are you doing? What are you playing at? Or, give us your thoughts on it, basically. But you listed Carl Pitts being tagged, 1 year deal, $16 million.
Yeah,
likely to see George Pickens tagged $28 million. God, unbelievable. And Breece Hall, well, I'm putting a big question mark on this one, but it's possibly available to be tagged there, just going over the $14 million mark. What's your thoughts on those three players? Are they? Is it all right, and that should just be a given that they all three should be franchise tagged there, or do you feel like there's something else that needs to happen?
Well, Pitts is the only one that's officially been tagged already. So Pitts is already done. He's been tagged 1 year, 16 million, as you said, which is good money for a tight end. The thing is with Carl Pitts is that because of where he was drafted, top 4 ahead of Jamar Chase, so much is expected of him. It's like we all expected him to come in the league and be this Travis Kelce clone. Carl Pitts has been a good tight end since he got in the league. All right, he's not been George Kittle, Gronkowski, Travis Kelce, but he has been, the tier down maybe. He's been a fantastic tight end since he entered the league. He's still young, 25, I think. I would have done that, no problem. I would have tagged him straight off the bat and looked to get a bigger deal done, a longer-term deal done down the line. So I think there's no issues with Carl Pitts getting a tag, and that's a smart move by the Falcons. Pickens is big money, right? The Cowboys haven't tagged him yet, but they have said that they're going to tag him. So we know that it's coming soon. George Pickens had a fantastic year for the Cowboys. He was brilliant. Yep. He outshone CeeDee Lamb, which is not easy. But George Pickens might be a head case.
Might.
So, allegedly is a head case. I'm not going to be the team that signs up for like a 4-year, $110 million deal for him. Like, I'm not that team. Like, I'll tag him. Can you behave last year reasonably well? Let's tag you. Can you behave this year? And then if we've got 2 years of precedent of you being a good boy in Dallas, we might pay you. I think that's what I would have done as well. I'm just not, after 1 year, I'm not being the team that does it, and then it blows up in your face, and everyone goes, "Well, yeah, what did you expect? That's George Pickens. He's off his head." Mm-hmm. And the final one, Breece Hall. The Jets just don't want to quit him, do they? They just don't want to quit. They had an offer of, I think it was a 4th-round pick on the table from the Chiefs at the trade deadline last year. Turned that down. You're thinking, well, if he goes this year, you can pick up maybe a compensatory pick in the 27 class. They're saying that everything's on the table. There's they've discussed internally about tagging Breece Hall. If they tag him, is it just a tag and trade? Is it, we don't like the 4th-round value that you're offering us, we can tag him, pay that hard $14 million, and trade him for a 2nd-round pick? Mm-hmm. Is that what they're going for? Maybe. I just don't see where the value is of keeping Breece Hall. The Jets are in a full rebuild. You traded away Sauce Gardner. You traded away other assets. You've got no quarterback.
Nope.
You fired everyone on the coaching staff apart from the head coach. Like, it is full rebuild.
Yeah.
Why are you holding a hostage to a running back that hasn't been overly successful? Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's had 1,000-yard season, 1,000-yard season, 1,000-yard season. We all know there's talent with Breece Hall, but let it go, boys.
I think so. I think let go. I'll be honest. I can see a bit of because I see the Cardinals cutting James Conner. I really do. Yeah. I just think like the cap space, the injuries now. I think that will happen. and obviously with obviously our coaching staff having actually done some work with Brees Hall, that I could see him obviously coming over to the Cardinals. I could see a James Conner actually at the Jets. I kind of see that. But I think you're still going to have to pay James Conner though. Like his production will tell you that you have to pay him. It's now the injury, I guess, that will probably have the question mark to teams probably paying him at this point. But I think they've got to let it go. Again, who's going to give us up a second? Running backs aren't going for second rounds. They're not doing that. There's a few actually still to pick up in this year's draft. So I don't think you really need to go and be spending big money, on someone like that. So I feel like they need to let him go, move on. Like you said, full rebuild. Blow that up. What are you doing?
Right.
It's like blowing up a house and the door's still standing. You go, no, we'll keep the door then. No,
build around the door.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like, move on. Like, get out of here. So, yeah, I feel like that needs to happen. I think just like full change. Get your QB right. You've been getting this wrong for so long. Get this right. Like, they're in such a terrible position in the draft in a sense that the Raiders are desperate, right?
Yeah.
Desperate for a QB. Otherwise, you'd be like, oh, they're going to trade up them for themselves to go and get Mendoza. But I feel like they're in a desperate position that I still don't see them going for QB at 2. I still think they're going to be looking. Yeah, there's no one. It's Mendoza or nothing right at the moment with QB. But I don't think like the likes of Ty Simpson are going to essentially build around that unless it's a stopgap where you go then double rookie in a sense, like come next year. But yeah, I think they're banging trouble. I want to touch on one contract though. The wide receiver market got absolutely blown up last time, right? With Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, like trying to sort out contracts, who's going to be there. We see obviously Chase at number 1. I think looking at this, $40 million a year. Justin Jefferson, 35. CeeDee Lamb at 34 million, and we see DK Metcalf 33, and Garrett Wilson at 32.5. That's your top 5. Jackson Smith-Njigba, mate. Where's he going? Is he about to completely blow up that again after that season?
Yeah, but apparently he wants to reset the market, and I think after the year that he's had winning Offensive Player of the Year, I don't think he resets the market by a huge amount, but I think he resets the market. I think you're looking at 41, maybe 42 per on a long-term contract with the Seahawks. So he's got all the leverage. What are you going to do? You're not going to pay him?
Pay him his money.
You're paying the man.
Yeah, you're paying him. It's got to happen. What's interesting about that list is like we're the next man up to reset it, because DK Metcalf's not doing it. Garrett Wilson's certainly not doing it at the Jets. How he's still again? What is like? He must be sitting in there. It's that it's the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meme where he's just looking around the room like, where? What is going on? Not even a staff member. Do you know what I mean? There's not anyone even to pour a bit of the old pit beans and a bit of brisket on the plate. They've all gone as well. Like that's this done out there in the Jets. So yeah, interesting to see obviously what they do and how they sort of play that. But what they will be looking at is obviously some new players, new fresh blood, and this is where it gets fun, because you've got obviously the guys that get paid big bucks to make sure they obviously pick right, maybe dupe someone else, and whether that's like we can hold tight, get the player we want, throw those little shimmies to make sure that they go, oh yeah, we're going for this player, and like sort of organizing meetings, a lot of face-to-faces, again, like questioning different GMs at this point, is the combine. We get to obviously get a chance now to look at these players at a little bit of value in terms of their athleticism, as it were. I feel like this is always like it's like a meat market. Come out,
underwear Olympics.
It's mental. Underwear Olympics. My favourite moment is still Chris Jones, where he's running so fast that his third leg helps him get across the line, which is actually amazing at that time that he managed to highlight that and still hide it at the same time.
He's packing, by the way.
Absolutely ridiculous, mate. You just can't get round. You're trying to get round him to get? Yeah, he's just there, like an old side swipe. Yeah, it's mental. He's a big guy though, mate. I tell you what, Jesus Christ. When I
More
stood
ways than
next to him, I
one.
was like, mate, yeah, scary, scary, scary guy. But the combine, some interesting players obviously coming into this, as we mentioned. Few highlights here, and where we look at the 40-meter dash, right? We know, 40-yard dash. Sorry, let me just bring
In
that back.
America.
Right, 40-yard dash. Sorry. But we saw like Xavier Worthy, right? Like when they saw how quick he was, I think that his like draft catapult just suddenly shot up a little bit, just because like, oh my god, how quick is he?
Mm.
And then there's like people like Mahomes going, listen, Tyreek's gone and been missing for a while. I need someone else that can run like fucking shit off a shovel. Like, can you get me this guy, right? And he recorded obviously 4.21 seconds in that last 40-yard dash. That is just insane. Do you see anyone else beating that though, Bill, or is that just like just a freak basically at that speed?
I mean, there's a few guys that I think have a chance. Now, listen, 4.2 140 is flying, and we all, Xavier Worthy got drafted to the Chiefs, had a great Super Bowl in their loss to the Eagles, but before the combine, Worthy was probably is he a second round pick? I don't think he's a first. He's too small. He's too gadgety. Runs a 40, and all of a sudden he's a slam first round pick. He's going in the first round. John Ross a few years ago out of Washington, who had the record. Does anyone know John Ross? Unless you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan or an NFL draft fan, you're not going to know John Ross is. He went in the first round because he flew at the combine. Like, it can change your life. A good 40 can change your life. It can take you from a day 2 pick to a day 1 pick. That's loads of millions. That's more starting opportunities, etc., etc. There's 3 guys I think have a shot at maybe touching that 4.21 record. I'll break them down. Chris Hilton, wide receiver at LSU. Now, he's not a guy that's expected to go early in the draft. He's a day 3 kind of guy. Apparently, he ran a 4.2 or a 40-yard dash in the 4.2s at LSU. So, if he's running a 4.28, 4.29, bit of training, bit of practice, could he get it under that 4.21? Possibly. He was clocked at 23.7 miles an hour on a play for the LSU Tigers this season. That is flying.
And you're getting hit by that.
Oh, mate. It's like, might as well getting hit by a car, isn't it? Like, it's ridiculous how far he's going. So he's got a shot. Damani Jackson, cornerback at Alabama, former high school track star. He ran the 100 meters in 10.25 seconds in 2021. So he's a track guy, has shown great speed over 100-meter distance. He could put that 4.21 record to the test. I don't think he'll break it. I think he has a great shot at breaking it. And then the guy that I think everyone needs to look at as this could be the guy this year. And I think when he's running his 40s, everyone's eyes are going to be glued on the screen. It's Brennan Thompson, the wide receiver at Mississippi State. Another former track star in high school, ran a 10.18 100-meter. And apparently, his senior year at high school, he ran a 4.33 40-yard dash. Now, you only need to put the tape on to watch Brennan Thompson on the field, and he flies. Like, you cannot cover him. You cannot cover him. Super fast, super talented ball tracker as well, if we're talking about the football player, not just the athlete. So, yeah, those are the 3. Chris Hilton out of LSU, Damani Jackson out of Alabama, and Brennan Thompson, the wide receiver out of Mississippi State. If anyone's going to break that Xavier Worthy record on the 40-yard dash, it's going to be one of those 3, in my opinion.
And do you see, obviously, from your side, then, how do you see that sort of planning out? Do you see their draft capital shooting up because of that? Who would be in the market for a player like that with that sort of speed?
I don't think either of them are going to go in the first round, regardless of what they run. Right? Now, if Brennan Thompson breaks the record and runs 4.19 or 4.2 flat, there's a chance he goes in the early second. I just don't think Brennan Thompson, if he beat Xavier Worthy's record and was a year younger, 2 years younger, you might convince me that he's going to go in the late first. But he's an older prospect. I just don't think I don't think anything that these 3 guys can do will take him into the first round. But if Brendan Thompson, like I said, breaks the record, he's going to go from a third round pick to an early second round pick. Damani Jackson, he'll go from, again, an early third round pick to an early second round pick. Chris Hilton might go from a round 6, round 7 guy all the way up to round 4. Like, you can change your life financially running the 40 at a good speed. So they're the 3 guys to watch for me. I don't think anyone else is really in with a shot of beating Xavier Worthy's record, but those 3 could definitely put it to the test.
I guess then there's that element, and we know that that's obviously important, but it's also about, again, have you put your head in the books? And when I say the books, it's like it's the plays, right? Like, are you going to be coachable in that respect? Are you going to be able to light up when we give you that information in real pressure situations, quick tempo, and be able to make those right decisions, right? So I say that because there's that element where they put you to the test, right, on certain plays, but then they'll just get to know you as a person. And if you're dead behind the eyes at times, or that the personality is maybe not shining through that they need, that's going to be right for the locker room, as it were, you can see it go the other way, can't you? With some of these interviews. I mean, Kieran Coleman is still one that still sticks out when you see some of his interviews, and people look at it, and that's probably why he lost quite a lot of value. But you know, the Bills are a nice organization, and literally put their hands out and said, we'll help you.
Fell for it.
And and fell for it. So what do you like to do outside of football? I play golf. All right, what's your handicap? Well, I'm no Tiger Woods. I was like, okay, but wish you could. Yeah, that killed me. Great. That was it. Oh, this guy's like amazing. Like, he's good banter. Yeah, but can he play football, guys? Like, I think you've been duped here. Like, but you know, these interviews are going to have to go well. They'll obviously then look at just size, stature. You know, the wingspan thing. When you see that, sometimes you're like, dude, you should be playing basketball. You know, or doing things like this, right? And then you're seeing like, okay, you know, are you an edge rusher with T-Rex arms? Well, what are you going to do with us? What are you going to do? Yeah. Is it Ruben Bain? You think Ruben that? Bain. Ain't got the arms for it. He ain't got the arms for it. What's he measuring? What's he coming in at?
So the rumor is he's got 31-inch arm length, right? Which let me just state this for everyone, right? For a normal human being, yeah, he's a monster. Like, he is a monster. He'll rip your door off your hinges and kill your whole family. Like, he is an animal. But we're talking about,
for the record, I hope he doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, he won't actually do that. Like, he is like, he's not an average human being. Like, he is built different. But when we're talking about NFL players and we're talking about offensive linemen and defensive linemen, there's certain parameters that you kind of measure to go, well, this historically has worked, this hasn't. Mm-hmm. There's only been 3 other edge rushers that have measured with 31-inch arms at the combine. Like, it is like 1 percentile. It is poor. The issue with Bain is that he's a projected top 5 pick. Like, if you watch the tape, you go, oh, mate, this dude's a baller. This dude gets after the passer. He can set the edge in the run game. Doesn't look like his arms are a problem at the college level. But we know that the NFL's a different kettle of fish. So the measurables for him are going to be huge. Like, if he hits 31 inches, does that say you're not a top 5 pick anymore? You're a top 15 pick. Does he lose 10 spots in that draft? Mm-hmm. Or if his arms measure at 32, is that Jets? We'll take him at 2. But I know it sounds ridiculous how 1 inch in arm length can make such a difference. But listen, in the NFL, every inch matters.
It is a game of inches all round.
Inches. 6 inches in front of your face, Al Pacino.
I don't really like 6 inches in front of my face. Don't know about you, but
listen, if anyone gets that reference, let us know. I want to know who the real ball knowledge guys are. 6 inches in front of your face. Yeah, Ruben Bain is a guy that on tape he's a baller, man. He looks fantastic. He's every inch a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, but the measurables are going to be important. Teams are going to be keen to get the tape measure out and see, is this a guy that, is it going to be a problem? Is he going to be able to get inside the chest of an offensive tackle, or is he going to be swinging his arms and missing like a toddler. Like
Mm.
there's real money involved here. There's real draft capital involved in Ruben Bain, and there's a couple of cornerbacks as well that I think the measurables and the medicals are going to be really big for them. So D'Angelo Pons is one cornerback out of your national champion Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite players in the class. Like he might be my favorite player in the class. He is a dog. Like you watch him, he's 5'9". He's a small dude, right? And that's not like he's not even NFL small. He's like average human being small.
Yeah.
But he will set the right. He will come down and tackle the run game. He will cover you down the field. He's just a dog in everything he does. Doesn't shy away from a tackle, even though he's undersized. Just a football player, right? But the dude's 5'9". Like, I don't know if you can play outside corner in the NFL at 5'9", mate. Like, I just don't know if you can. And listen, that's 5'9" according to Indiana. He might turn up at the combine and be 5'8".
No,
and that right. You can't afford to lose. You know what we're saying about inches, right? You can't afford to lose one, right?
I think even if listen, I'll be honest. Even if you're 5'10", like I still
5'10",
think
you're short for a corner, right?
Yeah,
You're rocking
yeah.
5'9" or 5'8". You're small, and he's not had a lot of experience in the slot, right? Normally, a smaller corner, you go with Fryman in the slot. I think he could do it. You know, his hips move well. He can run down an alley and make a tackle. Like I think he can play in the slot, but we haven't seen it so much on tape because he was so good outside for Indiana. He needs to make sure that he needs to make sure that he actually is 5'9". I don't care what you got to put in your socks, what you got to do, man. Stretch your spine, do something. You have to hit 5'9". You can't be walking around at 5'8". And he needs to make sure that his interviews go really well, man, and that the decision makers can watch on tape and go, dog.
Yeah.
That needs to come through in the interviews as well. They need to leave that interview going, man, that dude loves football. He loves football. He's a dog. He is the guy that we see on tape. I don't care if he's 5'5". We're drafting him. And I think that D'Angelo Pons is that dude. I think he's a dude that will walk in 5'9". He gets up and leaves, and you swear he's 6 foot.
Well, Buda Baker's 5'10", but he looks tiny.
Yeah,
right?
Buda's a safe as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. And I'm looking at Gunner going, well, you can't go in corner there. I couldn't play him there. You know, I couldn't play Buda there in that position.
Yeah. Imagine outside corner an inch shorter.
That's what I'm saying. So at that point, I'm like, hey, like, nah, mate, good luck. But thanks for coming. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's you need to find something new. Yeah, but then again, listen, if he turns it up, you're going, oh my God, can you imagine what he would be like if he was 6'1", 2? You know what I mean?
If D'Angelo Pons was 5'11", he would be a top 20 draft pick. Like, no doubt, top 20 draft pick. The fact that he's projected to go in the top 60 picks, he's projected to go in the second round as a 5'9" corner, just shows you how much of a baller he is. Like, he is unbelievable. Yeah. He's just a small dude. And the final one is Jamud McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee. Now, this dude is, most people have him ranked as corner 1. He's projected to go in the first round, first corner off the board. The dude didn't play football in 2025.
That's mad.
Didn't play a snap. Tore his ACL the season before. Didn't play a snap this year. Was invited to the Senior Bowl. Pulled out of the Senior Bowl to focus on the combine. So you've got the little bit there of people going, was he fit enough? You know, was he going to risk re-injury at the combine? So for him, I don't think it's so much interviews. The medicals are going to be huge for him. Our team's going to be able to sign off on what they see at the combine. And then he said he's going to participate. I hope he participates at everything. Do everything. And let's try and build an athletic profile. And then at least we've got an athletic profile. They've got the interviews and they've got the 24 tape to go back to.
Yeah.
But to not play a snap of football in 2025 and still be projected as the number 1 guy in your position and a first round pick, the medicals and the interviews and the on-field stuff, all of it, the combine, no one has more to lose at the combine than McCoy.
That's a lot. That's a risk, isn't it? Did he have any years of eligibility left to like maybe just carry on getting a bit of money at college?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think he did.
I was going to say, otherwise,
Yeah.
You're getting
Otherwise,
paid now.
you'd go back for a year, right? You'd go back for a year.
Go back for a year. Make sure your body's right. You're still getting paid at the end of the day, and maybe go and showcase yourself to actually get a few games on your belt. That maybe your draft capital again comes up a little bit. I want to end on some QBs though, mate. Obviously at the combine, Mendoza's reported that he's not going to be throwing at the combine. Now there was a lot of backlash from that last year, with certain QB not wanting to throw the ball at the combine. Is it the same? Is it an issue? Is there what are we doing here? I think he said he's gonna throw at his pro day, I believe.
Mate. Mendoza's going to throw at his pro day, and he will throw for one team. He will do whatever one team asks him to do, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders. Doesn't matter who else asks him to do anything. He ain't doing nothing. If the Raiders ask him, we want you to come in, we want you to do this, we'll do that. Yeah, no problem, we'll do that. If he, he's not. I don't expect him to go and visit the Cardinals. I don't expect him to go and visit the Miami Dolphins. Like you're going one. We know you're going one. Everyone knows you're going one, right? You ain't got to mess about a combine. You ain't. All you got to do is meet the Raiders, meet Tom Brady, throw when they ask you to throw, have a pro day where you're comfortable, your home site. It's different, right? There was last year. I know it panned out differently with Ward going one and Shedeur going wherever he went. There is no one there's no battle for the first overall pick this year. It is Fernando Mendoza, and that's the end of it. So he can dictate his terms.
That which is fair. And my follow-up question then to that, Mendoza definitely one. Who is the next QB off the board in 2026?
Predictably, I think it will be Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback. I do think it'll be Ty Simpson. I think there's a shot that a team trades up into 31 or 32 to get that 5th year of eligibility on him. But there's also a shot that he doesn't go until the late second. Right? I'm not sold on him as a prospect, but there's not much in the way of quarterback this year. The other guy I think has a shot to jump Simpson if Simpson starts to fall in the second is Nussmeier out of LSU. There was some injury stuff this year that didn't help. This is a guy that in 2024, at the end of the 2024 season, beginning of the 2025 season, we were going, Nussmeier's going to be a first-round pick. Nussmeier's going to be a first-round pick. And then the season happened. And he had an oblique injury, and there was some stuff going on. Nussmeier could be the second guy off the board if Simpson starts to fall and it's a second-round pick. You're looking late second. But I think predictively, I'm going to take Ty Simpson and then Nussmeier third. And then I think there's a big drop-off after them three.
Yeah. I think there's obviously still a lot to happen. We saw, I think Kirk Cousins got cut as well from what I saw as well.
Released by the Falcons, He'll find a home. He'll definitely find a home.
He'll find a home. I think it's kind of like there's probably a bit of a lifeline to some of those vet QBs this year, in the sense that the draft class isn't quite right. So, they're probably still going to get a one and done. We'll probably see Aaron Rodgers obviously return for one more season as well. I don't like the rumors, but where it could be.
Malik Willis is going to make some dough. The backup in Green Bay. He highlights the free agency class of the quarterbacks. That should tell you all you need to know. Right?
I think he's number one, top 100. They're saying he's one in terms of free agency.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid good money. Where you go in, hang on a minute. How has that happened? How is Malik Willis a genuine paid starter?
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up in the Cardinals, mate. I don't know why. It pains me, but I think it's going to.
Surely he's back to the Steelers. Mike McCarthy, he's old coach from Green Bay. He's been in Pittsburgh. Surely he just stays in Pittsburgh. You don't look convinced, mate.
It's the Nathaniel Hackett piece, right? And obviously LaFleur, albeit a brother, I feel like he loves the desert as well. Do you know what I mean? Finish his game and then just go after the Grand Canyon and jump in it for a bit and then come back for practice.
If you guys sign Aaron Rodgers, will you stop hating on him?
It will just be like the person I won't name. I just won't talk about it.
There'll be two quarterbacks that we don't talk about.
It would just be insane. It'd just be insane. I mean, we'll come back on this pod and you'll see a Rodgers jersey up there. All of a sudden, it would be like full circle, like on the background. I would have to. The thing is, the crazy thing is, I'd have to get it. I'd
Yeah,
have to have a Cardinals Rodgers jersey if that actually did happen.
I will get you. I will send you one if you sign Aaron Rodgers. I will send you an Aaron Rodgers jersey in post.
Oh mate, honestly, it's yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the Cardinals do. There's a few teams obviously like that at the moment. I'm looking forward to obviously now what is the off season, going into this new season now as well. These changes. Love to hear your thoughts from your own teams, whether you need to stay in your position you are, trade out of that, any prospects that you're obviously looking out for as well, because we know that some of you guys are deep in the tape as well. So let's get ahead of it. Let's get those fantasy picks out as well, which we'll share with you on the next episode for sure. Once to start to wheel and deal, because this is where you now need to do the trading with your own sort of dynasties as well. So we'll be throwing out some of those tips. But ladies, gentlemen, everyone listening, that has been another episode of Touchdown Talk.